What does it take to put on a show? Yes, of course it takes talented actors, but what do we not get to see? What happens behind the scenes that is meant to be hidden from the audience? Well, at the Drama Club presented by CCLC, you are going to get firsthand experience with everything it takes to put on a show. There are going to be a series of mini courses offered. So small clubs, you don't have to come every day. We'll talk about the schedule in a second. But you can learn about acting and directing, costume, hair, and makeup, theater lighting and sound, and theater construction. So with acting and directing, you're going to learn how to transform yourself to someone else. How do you make a scene between two characters dynamic? How do you pretend to fall in love with someone you just met? Students will get a chance to perform monologues, scenes with other actors, and even solos or lip syncing if they would like. We will also be learning about theater costume, hair, and makeup. Now, this is a big section that we're turning into one small mini course. So, how do you make the audience think that you are in the 1890s or the 1920s? In this club, students will learn the basics of stage makeup and special effects makeup. This means not only learning how people did their makeup in certain decades, but also how do you make a 15-year-old look like they're 70? How do you make someone look not super washed out on stage? How do you get a wig over someone who has really long hair? These are all things you're going to learn how to do in this little mini course. Another thing you can learn is about theater lighting and sound. This is something that a lot of people don't think about. But what happens when a director wants the stage to look like a misty lake at midnight? Where do you point the lights? What lights do you use? What color do they need to be? What about how do you work a fog machine to add that element? As for sound, what happens if a director wants the sound of a chicken flying off of a roller coaster? How do you make that? Students will use the technology of the theater in creative ways to simulate these scenarios. The last course is theater construction and creative solutions. So carpentry and construction isn't only necessary to build houses in the neighborhood. For even more experience, try learning how to build small houses on stage. Learn the difference between Hollywood and Broadway flats. Learn how to make a platform that is strong enough for people to tap dance on it. Learn how to make it rain on stage, or how do you make a table move with no one around it? These are all creative solutions that we will need. So the schedule as of now, and this is totally subject to change, is 2 hours once a week. Different groups can meet on different days. So if you're only interested in the theater construction side, you may not need to go every single week. You can go only on the days when we're focusing on that. As for the connection to one act in musical, this club is completely separate. Rehearsals will never overlap. You will either be in the club or at the rehearsal, but never at the same time. These are two separate things. If you would like to use time in the club to design something for musical, you are absolutely more than welcome to bring your ideas and then take them from the club to the musical. But we will not be working specifically on musical things during the club unless that is your personal project. This will be a tasting session that we will have this year towards the end of the 2020-2021 school year. And we are going to start this up more often in August of the 2021 and 2022 school year. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to Ms. Hauschild. You can send her an email or stop by her room at room 213. And I hope you are free to join us.